Game 2. Loading in.
Alrighty, so let's have a look at these loadouts. TuMe going with what is obviously going to be a Maxim spam. He's sporting shock motor, shock rifle, and armored assault tactics there. And for Jove, of course, lightning war, mobile defense, and mechanized. Do you want to do an intro quickly? Because I've just got to set this up.
Yeah, sure. Yes, a very warm welcome, watchers. How's it going, guys and girls? You're joining us just now for Game 2 of this best-of-3 quarterfinals between spawning in the north, playing as the Soviet forces. It's going to be NS TuMe, and spawning in the south, playing as the Vermac pieces, winning Game 1 and looking quite dominant whilst doing so. It's going to be Jove.
Oh yes, Jove, the champion of last week, who's already taken his first game of the quarterfinals, is going to be playing against TuMe, who's on the back foot right now. And let's have a look at what he's going to be going for. First squad is conscripts, second squad engineers lined up. So I wonder what he's going to be going for here.
This is fantastic. It's really, because when you said when we were loading in, obvious Maxim spam, obviously because of the bulletins, like in my head I was like, mental note / best bluff ever.
No, I think he's still going to go for it. The benefit of the two engineers is that he can use one of the engineers for capping on the field, so he still gets good map
what's
control.
The other builds?
And then the other build's the Maxim, so you're just seeing that tier 2 go up now, and that's a good one. Because what that means is obviously Maxims create a slower start game for most players, because you obviously have to wait for the Maxim to build, you have to build a tier 2. It gives your opponent as Axis the opportunity to rush up on buildings. So having the conscript and engineer go out first allows him to suss out what his opponent's doing and take better territory. So I think that's a really, really good decision. That's a good thing to learn for people that like to use Maxims.
Wow. I mean, just great analysis. And you're absolutely right as well. We're probably almost certainly going to see a Maxim on the build queue in a sec.
I'd be very surprised if we didn't. There we go.
Mortar spam. Yeah, so the first Maxim definitely on the queue right now. We've got our first scuffles unfolding, little exchange of rounds here in mid as some conscripts going to find some grenadiers here. Nothing to write home about just yet. The game getting underway.
Oh yes, and the interesting one is going to be how Jove defends here, because of course playing against the Soviets, and TuMe's gone straight in with armored assault, which is a pretty good one. We were talking about that earlier, and of course you can make some great pushes with this. The late game, you've got the access to the IS-2, and with a Sturmovik overhead, it's unlikely maybe that Jove is going to go for tier 3, so that Ostwind doesn't go out. There's not much chance for anti-air, so the Sturmovik strike really works well against Ostir, because they've either got to go tier 3 just as a counter if they spot it, denying them anything like the Panther that's helpful to the IS-2. Otherwise they just don't, and they just lose a lot of units to it. So it's a good doctrine choice here, and that the Maxim is going to help get territory for that to happen in the late game.
It's a good doctrine choice, I agree. My only concern is that obviously this is of course much more late game doctrine, so I just hope that TuMe is able to have a decent sort of early mid game and actually get to see a lot of benefit out of this doctrine. Because if Jove comes out the gates really flying and shuts the door on him really hard in the early game, he might regret this commander pick. But time will tell, and whenever you pick this commander, it's always going to be like that. And he will at least have radio intercepts. That's not nothing.
No, that's a really, really good one in learning what his opponent's doing. So, interestingly, TuMe builds a sandbag here, which does kind of benefit his opponent's attack on the strategic point. But of course, he's built it on the outside of the circle, and what that means is that if your opponent does use it for cover, he can't cap at the same time. So it's good for him as well for defending, and that just keeps his opponent off of the strategic cutoff a little bit longer. So a good sandbag placement there.
Yeah. Mortars here going to be the choice for Jove. This is going to help him a lot, of course, against the weapon teams, these Maxims. Opting not to get a sniper. Actually, does Jove use snipers as heavily as other Vermac players, or is he a sniper light player?
I don't know, see, Jove's just a balanced player. He likes to use whatever genuinely gives him advantage in the engagement. So I'm guessing he just feels like he doesn't need one here. Against the Soviets, it's a little bit of a risk anyway. It does work well against Maxims. TuMe hasn't gone dead into Maxims. He's only brought 2 out on the field. We now see a mortar has just come out as well. So yeah, it's I don't know how well the sniper would work here. He's probably got some other things that he needs to concentrate on.
Yeah, and I like the way that both players are actually going for a slightly more well-rounded force, like just 2 Maxims into a mortar. That's nice here for TuMe. It's going to make for a slightly more interesting game. A slightly more tactical sort of game of positioning and tactics here. These two guys are going to be like sumo wrestlers circling with mortars, MGs, and frontline squads, so that's nice. It's nice to see an almost sort of, as close as you can get to a mirrored composition. It means that this is going to come down to a contest of skill, which I like.
so close to being a squad wipe there with the conscripts. This mortar's a really good decision from TuMe because it's actually allowing him to take the MG down that's cutting him off from the map at the moment. But Jove's taking advantage of that green cover in a really bad way, and you know, TuMe's got to try and get him off of there. So the mortar, a kind of good choice that he built that, but he probably could have been better off not building that sandbag at all by the looks of it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, the way he initially had it, he had a second row of sandbags, kind of like cutting off the like south side of that bush that those sandbags are next to. So I think he was trying to make it so like the Axis squads would be in a really awkward position and couldn't use the bush at all, and his squads could use that side. But he kind of got one of his sandbags destroyed halfway through.
Engineer is forced to retreat on the left-hand side, although TuMe does manage to get a fuel decap, which should prevent his opponent from out-teching him just for a little while at least. Grenadier is forced off by the Maxims. So Maxim's starting to do some work now. Of course, we know that Maxims is a little bit of a slower play if the positioning gets wrong. But it does allow you to come back in the mid-game quite well, especially if you can get an early tier 3 out. We don't see that coming up just yet. We can't afford it.
Yeah, and Jove's mortar is just hooning down the greenhouse here. He's just like repeatedly barraging it, which actually makes a lot of sense. If you know your opponent's going Maxims, you don't want them to have that building. So he's put a lot of damage. That building's now down at like 25% health. So that's actually pretty smart from Jove, actually. Just like pre-bombarding it down. Yeah,
good map play is essential, and it's something we didn't actually see from TuMe in the last game, was maybe using the attack ground or attack move option to actually burn the buildings down. Because it only takes maybe, if you've got 2 squads of Flame of Pioneers, you know, it only takes a couple of bursts from both of them to actually set a house alight. And then of course it will burn of its own accord for the rest of that time and collapse. So I mean, you can get some pretty good, you know, I don't want to say terraforming, but you know, you can change the landscape a bit to your advantage.
Oh, I like that terraforming.
Yeah. You know, you can change the map to your advantage.
The battlefield.
It looks like that maybe is what Jove is going for, because it will give him some benefits if he's going to be attacking that area. TuMe's actually starting to make some good ground off of Jove. He was pinned in his base a second ago, so he's starting to use these Maxims really well now. You can see him just getting into positions that are going to make it really difficult for Jove to attack. And Jove's taking up to the scout car now, which is an interesting one.
Yeah, I like the scout car against this composition so far. I also think that this mortar here is going to be key from breaking out from behind all of these Maxims. Wait, these Grenadiers sneaking around using the line of sight blocker to get up to the side of this Maxim. There could be a rifle grenade going here if he wants it, or he can just pick off Maxim operators. Yeah,
a bit too late for that now, but that Maxim is clumped up in a position where a rifle grenade could have got a squad wipe, so that could have been very useful. TuMe's positioning here is about to be crucial. If he messes up the positioning, he's going to allow Jove to go straight back up and get that strategic decap again. So it needs to be very, very careful indeed. Oh, mortar with a great hit on the Grenadiers there. May get them on the retreat, but it looks like they've got enough health to get out of there.
That would have been quite the pickup there if Jove was losing that squad there. But TuMe has to feel encouraged right now. Like, this has gone quite well for him. He's had decent map control. He's actually been giving Jove serious obstacles anytime he tries to move out. So I don't know if he can build on this, and like the difference between this and the last game is I feel like TuMe didn't really get very many resources like after about the 5 or 6 minute mark, whereas right now he's looking much better on that front. He's also oh sorry, no, he's actually behind on victory points right now, my bad. But still, I much prefer this position after like 8 minutes than last game.
Yeah, he does need to focus on denying fuel as well, which I think he's going over to do, because he needs to try and get out and above in tech.
On the left. The health is so low. Oh, the Maxim gets crushed. He doesn't get the Maxim out in time. That was just a moment of inattention there from TuMe. Is going to be punished, and he's going to lose an entire Maxim. That is unfortunate, and that is the first real pickup here. That's the first big swing, I think, this game. So, yeah, Jove gets a nice pickup there. That's good.
Yeah. And this composition as well, people are going to be watching this because to play against Maxims, people are always looking for ways to play against Maxims. Double mortars are doing really, really well, so you know, 3 Grens, MG, and just using the mortars. Every time those Maxims set up, you're bound to take off a couple of models. It's starting to get a bit too difficult for TuMe to actually deal with. But actually taking the Maxims out of the building like that, you know, that's a big pickup. You see as well the mortar doing a lot of health damage to the squads, and once that health goes down, then the LMG opens up, and they're doing a lot more model wiping than they were previously.
Yeah, it's a brutal combination, it really is, and Jove's actually going to go for Panzer Grenadiers behind this, which again I really like. Panzer Grenadiers right now are good against every single unit that TuMe has, and he also has built-in flexibility. You know, he's got the munitions for the double Shrek if he wants them moving forwards, so smart choice from Jove, I'm liking the Panzer Grenadiers, and TuMe still basically has like map control, but it's tenuous now. Like Jove is pushing like really hard, and I think if he wanted to take the middle, he probably could now.
Yeah, I mean these Panzer Grenadiers are near, I would say, 100% certain to get Panzer Shreks uploaded at the moment. Upgraded. It's probably going to be his only form of reliable AT for the moment, unless he can steal something. Here we go. Yeah, so Panzer Shrek's coming up right now. That's going to try and fight off any mid-game units. But I don't actually think he needs to use the upgrade straight away. I mean, TuMe's only just getting the tier 3 up. It's a difficult one. He could benefit from having the SMGs on the Panzer Grenadiers for a little bit longer, getting some good flanks off, and then upgrading them when the light armor comes onto the field. He's got enough Grenadiers to put Fausts on. But, you know, this is Jove. We're not going to argue with anything that Jove does. At least he has got the Panzer Shreks to meet whatever comes out of this tier 3 building now from TuMe. Oh, danger mine. Way!
Oh, oh, nice pick up there for TuMe then. Going to give some engineers handily. Sorry, Grenadiers. Did they have an LMG-42?
I
No,
don't think they
squad,
did. There's only one squad for the LMG-42, and he's currently on the centre VP. So, no, that was a nice pickup though. A good mine there from TuMe. There was actually a squad that missed it earlier, so the pickup was actually better. The squad earlier wasn't going to bunch and get killed. That's very unfortunate. The way that squad was running, just a little bit too clumped to avoid that. What a shame.
Yeah. Tankovy Battalion Command has completed, of course, and the T-70 is on the way. Pretty standard stuff here from TuMe. A little bit late. I mean, not as early as you'd like for a T-70, but this will still do just fine. And as long as he steers clear of the Pat Gun and the double Shrek Panzer Grenadiers, this T-70 should be pretty good at policing the field. It's going to make life a little bit harder for Jove, give TuMe a little bit more control over where his opponent's units can go, and let him harass the flanks and exploit any weaknesses if he sees them. So, I just hope this T-70 doesn't go the way of that first Panzer IV last game, actually. Yeah. But there are no mines, actually, are there? Are there any mines for the Axis player? I haven't seen any.
I wonder if TuMe, he is actually going to stick with the T-70. I don't know if this is a good choice. I mean, he's got radio intercept. He's going to know that there's 80 on the field from Jove. He's going to know that there's Panzer Shreks upgraded with the Panzer Grenadiers. So, you know, the T-70, I don't know how well it's going to hold up against this. He may have been better off going with the half-track and upgrading that with a quad cal.
Yeah, oh wow, the Soviet mortar actually just got destroyed by the two German mortars, so that's a squad right. That's going to need recrewing, but there's nobody in the hood to do it just yet. So there's a mortar actually up for grabs at the back of the field there. And wow, Jove taking a nice fight here in mid actually. Good concave of units, going to be forcing back the Maxims and conscripts here. And I think with that many squads out of circulation, that will be the green light for Jove to retake mid and start pushing up, I think.
Recon mode just got activated by TuMe there, and he just on and offed it quickly to have a look at the general area. Maxim's about to get wiped in the middle from TuMe. That's a bit of a loss really, and it may even get recrewed by Jove if the T-70 comes in right now though. Oh, and it does! Forcing Jove to recrew a Maxim with a 3-man squad. He may be able to wipe the Maxim as well. This could completely turn around that engagement for Jove. He does! Nice pickup from TuMe. Great plays there, great plays, and a mistake by Jove really on that.
That was the LMG-42 squad as well.
Yeah, it was.
Wow. Oh, TuMe, nice pick up. And I don't know, after that, let's see. I mean, he is basically still behind. In terms of composition and army size, he's definitely still behind. But he's in this with a real shout now. That is exactly what he needed to do at exactly when he needed to do it. And that was nice. He knew he had an opportunity and he just got it done. That T-70 looking good now.
It certainly is. It really is a good unit.
Getting too close.
Needs to be careful.
Yeah.
Is there another one to fire?
One of them fired at the conscripts, unfortunately, so the T-70 is going to survive.
Right, okay. Here we go, conscripts now trying to get behind the Maxim aura around it. Maybe they'll try and take out the Panzer Grenadiers instead. Maxim's absolutely desperate to get that. TuMe hasn't actually moved around at this time. He's going to be disappointed that he let that engagement go for a second, because that was should have gone in his favour.
Yeah, I'm really loving this double mortar style.
Stuggies coming on the field.
Oh yeah. Here comes the Stug Light. What is that?
Stug Light.
Yeah, it's so good I can't believe it's not Stug. But yeah, the Stuggy, I mean, how much fuel is this little thing? 70? 75, okay, yeah. What a bargain this thing is. And well microed, it's just an absolute monster. And again, on this field, on this board, it looks fantastic because it kind of, you know, beats all those units. So that's really good. The only thing it really has to look out for is the Zis gun, or I suppose a flanking T-70, but you know, that's slim odds.
Yeah, I mean, it can single-handedly take on everything that TuMe has on the field right now, and TuMe needs to identify that. and come up with a solution to
Oh my
it.
god, the sniper shot from the Stug E takes out a retreating Maxim at maximum range.
Oh my god.
What? That was savage. TuMe getting utterly punished there. I mean, that Maxim was in jeopardy, but I thought he fell back in good time. Turns out that Stug E had other plans. Wow.
Yeah, a little bit of RNG, but then again, it was a late retreat, which allowed for RNG to pick that off. You know, if there were a couple of move squads there because he retreated earlier, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, valid observation for sure.
Let's have a look at. I would still say the map control is pretty good from TuMe. The one risk he's got at the moment is that the one risk that he's got at the moment is that the Tiger's upcoming for Jove. So it could be.
Yeah.
It could be that comes out pretty quickly.
Tiger time.
Yeah, I mean, Jove doesn't need to build anything, although the disadvantage of that is that he is going to end up having the Sturmovik rip holes through him when that comes out on the field. So with the right combination of play from the Maxims and the AT guns, he could definitely get away with that.
Yeah. Yeah, the victory point situation as Nero's makes no difference even right now, so TuMe doing a good job of catching up in that regard. And if nothing else, even if he does lose field control here, he is going to have time to work with. It's not like he's at a massive ticket deficit. He's got a little bit of time. He's just falling back most of his army, reinforcing, going to lick his wounds just a little bit. And I wonder what the teching choice is going to be here. Is he just going to hold for the IS-2, or is he going to throw down a mech reg and try and get the T-3485 on the go? Because that would be pretty spicy as well. Probably.
Yeah, I don't think the IS-2 is probably going to be the safe one. I don't think he really wants to think about anything else to do with manpower teching at the moment. He's probably just going to want to play until that comes out. Then again, T-70 gets caught off by the Stug.
Yeah,
surprised that he didn't go for it though.
That T-70 literally just wipes an MG42 as well, actually, on the left flank. That's why it was a little overextended there. So a nice pickup there for TuMe as well, grabbing
Engineers
another squad.
Just raring for a squad wipe here. There we go, he does make the retreat. That's what you want to avoid. Always check that your units aren't blobbing like that, because that's when squad wipes happen.
Yeah. Whoa, T-70 coming through to clear this minefield though, but gets bopped on the nose by a pack gun, and it's going to have to get out of there quickly. Whoa.
Yeah, he flicks on auto repair though, which actually just saved him from that engagement. Otherwise the AT gun would have been a hit. Two AT guns lining up, or should be lining up at least, to hit the Stug E, but they don't make that shot at all. With an MG engagement going on through the middle, Maxim versus MG42 there, whilst the Stug E comes in through the middle to try and help the Grenadiers overcome Maxim in the center. All the while, I've got to say the mortars from the Oster are doing really well. We've got 8 kills and 15 kills between the two of them, but they're just doing great work at pushing the Maxims off.
Yeah, the double GR34 opener from Jove has been really nice. They've been constant pressure this game. They've been punishing the Maxims, they've picked up squad wipes, and they're still going strong. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this. This has worked better than a sniper would have, in my opinion. I'm really liking it. This GR34 actually might want to think about repositioning. Yeah, there comes the fallback. It's getting kind of beaten by the Soviet mortar there. So a moment of silence here actually, as TuMe's forces mostly at base repairing, rearming.
He's actually going for another T-70 though, which is just odd.
Wow. That is odd. I'm not sure I like that one. The first T-70 I quite liked actually, and it's kind of paid for itself. Like, it's gotten 3 squad wipes, which was reasonable. But the second one? I'm not really sure how much extra value this provides over just having one.
Well, I guess at the moment, you know, the Tiger's not on the field just yet. It's still a little way off, and he can tell by his own CPs what his opponent's likely to be on. So, you know, 2 T-70s, assuming that Jove doesn't have mines, he could actually get behind the lines and do some serious damage with this. He has the 2 AT guns as well. You know, it's not the worst of ideas, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. He's clearly got some faith in this strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I mean, based off of that first one, that one's been really good. So, I've got faith in TuMe. I've got faith in him to pull it off. And I don't know, both forces at the moment just kind of like vying in middle for position at the moment, like getting set up for what is sure to be another fight. Where the Stug E kind of getting caught out in front of 2 Zis guns.
Wow.
Bang bang.
Good damage. Very good damage. I wonder if the T-70 is going to decide to come in here. They do. Both Shrek shots missed. That could be a bad one. Of course, T-70s, you know, they can still do some good damage as long as they keep at max range. It's just calculating that is difficult.
Yeah, TuMe's resources though have been considerably disrupted actually. His resource income right now has been really hampered. He's having a hard time keeping a hold of his fuel point. He's just now taking it back. And he's also taking back the middle VP, which is like critical right now actually. That victory point lead is up to about 100 tickets, or close to, for Jove. So TuMe just needs to grab some ground.
good play on the Panzer Grenadiers here. I wonder if they'll try and get the bundle grenade off. In fact, he does on the Maxim. Yep. Will it do the damage? It's right in the center. Lots of health damage, but doesn't quite get the model wipes.
Yeah, he just needs one thing here, like an LMG-42, to just sweep them up. But there isn't one. So that Maxim more than likely going to get out of here. There it goes. Meanwhile, in the mortar war, the German one's both up to 2 stars. Where is the second one, actually? I can't find it. It is...
Got one behind the house in the
right
mid, yeah, one in the base. So,
yeah, they're still doing well.
This is interesting game. Back and forth still. VPs aren't that far apart right now as well. Longest Kaya typically produces insanely long games, but we're about to hit the late game. It looks like Jove is going to get there a little bit behind TuMe, but the benefit is that TuMe actually has the resources. Sorry, Jove has the resources to hit the late game units out first, even though TuMe is going to reach it first by the looks of things. And it's pretty much down to the reason that happens is you tend to get more CPs by losing units than you do from killing things. You know, obviously with the design, you can get some late game things out earlier than your opponent to counteract it. It's one of those little game designs that helps to provide comebacks and so on.
But, makes the game exciting.
Yeah, precisely. You know, if you're both on the same amount of CPs like we're seeing here, it means they've been pretty neck and neck with each other, which is very, very admirable for TuMe to be doing this against the #1.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, he's basically separated only by 100 tickets, like, and a small resource deficit. Apart from that, the 2 players are basically even on this, and 100 tickets is pretty much neither here nor there at this point in the game. So yeah, the world is TuMe's oyster right now, or at least certainly this game. He just needs to have a plan for the Tiger, which he has to know is coming. Like, he has to know it's Tiger time in, like, I don't know, 3-4 minutes. So I guess his plan is IS-2 and support. That would probably do it. These 2 T-70s actually as well. I was skeptical, but they've actually been pretty good at policing mid.
Yeah, they've done a good job of getting his resources back, and I guess with the resources that he's got coming in, he should be able to get that late game IS-2 out. Does need to be a little bit careful. In fact, neither players have really maxed out on their pop cap yet, which leaves them quite open for that late game.
Sure.
So it's interesting that there's still, you know, there's still loads to happen here, I can tell.
Yeah, I'm loving where TuMe has actually learning from last game. He's actually got 2 metal detectors. That's good. That's good. Here come the Zis guns looking for that Stuggy in mid again.
T-70's got to be very careful on the left-hand side. Oh, this could be a great takedown of the Stuggy here. Second shot opens up. TuMe, for some reason, doesn't chase with the T-70. He's got recon mode on with the T-70 to provide sight for the AT guns, but that wasn't enough apparently. Here we go, T-70 might get caught off by the Panzerschrecks. One misses, second one misses as well. Those Panzerschrecks really haven't paid off at all for Jove this game.
Too much schnapps, boys. Need to lay off.
Yeah.
Can't shoot straight today. They've like missed like consecutively. Yeah, that T-70 must be coming up. Okay, no, it's 2 and a bit star. Yeah, this is kind of neither player committing to like a big fight. They're both just kind of skirting around each other, both just trying to be as efficient as possible and not committing anything.
You can see that both of them are waiting for that late game unit.
Yeah.
Both of them are stacking now, which is weird really. But it kind of what it suggests is that both players are really trying not to underestimate their opponent. Clearly, Jove doesn't feel confident enough to push with what he's got. And TuMe is definitely not going to be pushing against Jove without the IS-2. No chance. Oh, 2 shots finally connect with the T-70.
Yeah, finally indeed. But that's going to force that one back. But you know, there's another. And those damaged Panzer Grenadiers. Okay, the other one's not going to chase. That's wise. There's mines about the place. So yeah, he doesn't want to be too aggressive with the T-70. I thought for a second he might decide to chase the Panzer Grenadiers, try and get one of the Shreks off him or something. But going to play it safe again.
Yeah, I really see a little reason why TuMe's deciding to go on the left-hand side right now, because he needs to be putting pressure on the VPs mid and right. There's no real reason why he should be selecting that over there. Here we go, Sturmovik strike goes in, so we may be seeing a push now from TuMe. I can't see any other reason why he would use that right now, so here we go, coming in, trying to chase the mortar down. Gets actually quite a few kills off on that.
Yeah, gunning down 2 of 4 there, that's pretty nice stuff.
Here we go, well, that's the entry for the IS-2, dude.
Oh yeah! Alright, the stage is set. Here comes the haymaker piece here. Looks like TuMe is actually going to have access to this just before Jove is going to have the Tiger. That Tiger's going to be here in like seconds. But until then, there's an IS-2 rolling into mid, and there is like basically 1 pack gun and 2 dudes with Shreks. That is the response at the moment. for Jove. So this IS-2 can get some work done. There's a window here. Let's see how TuMe decides to use it. He has to be careful. There are mines about the place. And I don't think he's had a detector in this region for a while. Oh, mines and MG. That's a brutal squad wipe. IS-2 immediately getting some value.
Here comes the counter though. Tiger's now on the field, so we're going to have a classic Tiger IS-2 battle right now. What have we got being hit here? The Sturmovik. Putting some suppression on the Panzer Grenadiers. I don't think TuMe made the best of this, though, to be honest. It looks like he was really stagnant with this. You know, the Sturmovik is something you want to use to throw your opponent a little bit and then go and make some serious plays. But he just hasn't done that. You know, the IS-2 was late. Really just, Jove just kind of sat there, took it, and then just got back on the field.
And then he committed to the left with the T-70s, which have now been pushed back, and now the Zisk guns are kind of in real jeopardy. The Tiger's going to overrun them, the Stuggy's pinging them, the Panzer Grenadiers are up in their face, and these two Zisk guns will probably go down for sure. That's really unfortunate. A Shrek gets dropped, though, actually. Notable. How are the Zisk guns not dead?
IS-2 is going to try and come in, by the way. Going to come and try and get the Tiger.
Oh, that's mines, though!
Oh!
He gets tagged. That IS-2 in jeopardy now.
He may be able to hit that, but look at that stun shot from the Stug E. Weakens the turret, which means it can't turn. Tiger's going to be able to trade places with the Stug E right now, and the Pioneers pick up a Shrek to go in with that. Tiger's now chasing in.
Yeah, the Zisk gun gets recruited, so that's going to start attack grounding through the wall there. There we go.
There we go, that's the one. That was the play that we were looking for, and that's a great movement by Jove to do that. Main gun destroyed. This has got to be the end for TuMe. It must be over now.
It was certainly the end of this IS-2 and probably his tournament life here. We'll see.
Oh, he lets it get away!
The IS-2 crawls away? What? Oh, conscripts get gunned down in the open there, trying to grab onto that mortar. But damn. A decisive victory for Jove, for sure. I mean, he's got to take a moment here to reinforce Licker's wounds, repair these vehicles, but I mean, he finds himself now at 83 cap over 47, and like, I mean, look at the top left, look at the top right. That red army sure looks sweeter.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually not worked for TuMe at all. I mean, if you just check out the veterancy the IS-2 gained, you know, halfway up to veterancy 1, whereas the Tiger actually is just about to hit veterancy 1 right now, which will it will actually give it the blitzkrieg ability, so now it'll be able to flank the IS-2 around the turret a little bit more. So it's going to have a significant advantage over other tanks when that hits. Of course, German tanks repair a lot quicker than the Allied tanks do. You know, the Pioneers just work better for that kind of thing. So yeah, this is going to be difficult. The IS-2 is going to be off the field for considerably longer than the Tiger will be. Of course, we do have double Pioneers for both players, but it's going to be faster for the Axis. Assuming Jove actually stops to repair the Tiger, because he's still driving it back to basic mode.
Yeah. So let's just talk about that big battle there for a second. So TuMe had the IS-2 earlier. He puts down the IS-2 in what looks like a good position, and he commits both of the T-70s to the left with both Zisk guns, okay? So, but he comes out looking pretty bad. How would you have taken that fight with those units?
Well, do you know what? He drove in to try and get the Tiger without having the Tiger engine snared. You know, with no minesweepers there. Minesweepers are essential if you're going to go in for plays like that, because you have to make sure that your tanks have the freedom of movement that they need. You can't just send tanks in, because there will be mines there, and telemines are so destructive, it's unbelievable. You know, if he'd managed to get a bigger hit on the Stuggy, the target weak point would have happened, and he may be able to have delivered enough shots on the Tiger. But I think the main point about that whole thing was just the timing of using the Sturmovik strike. It was just such appalling timing. You know, he should have used it and then gone in with the tanks, then gone in on, you know, minesweepers under the cover of the air support with the tanks as well to support that. Would have been a much better play, and he may have even stolen the Tiger and the Stuggy at the same time.
Yeah.
You know,
okay, so you essentially like his plan then, though? Like, you just think the execution was off?
Yes.
You wouldn't have tried something radically different, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I would have attempted that myself.
Okay.
I just would have tried to make sure that I had some other things in place. I think this is the thing, that you take gambles at this stage of the game. You have to gamble now and again. Sometimes you can't always wait for minesweepers. Sometimes you just have to take that chance, and it doesn't always pay off.
Yeah, and not paying off is what happened here for TuMe. Amazingly, though, he was able to salvage the IS-2. Still has a fairly bare bones but serviceable army here. An Su-76 is the choice here to back up the IS-2 against the Axis armor, which I like. So TuMe definitely fighting from behind, and he's now like a nearly 200-point victory point deficit too, but not out, and he's going to make a play of this.
Yep, but he's going to have to do the recovery first. SU-76 is going to provide some support for the front armor of the IS-2, which is tanking at the moment. Target weak point goes on again from the Stug-E, allowing an AT gun to get a shot that doesn't unfortunately penetrate. Conscripts, I'm not sure what TuMe is doing. He's taking his conscripts around the side rather than trying to help engage with AT nades on the Tiger in the center.
Yeah.
There's just some strange decisions here and there, I think. They're fighting in negative cover at the moment against Vet 3 Pioneers. This could go badly. Mortar's going to rain down as well.
Yeah, it is possible. I mean, this is, as far as I know, TuMe's first time making a run this deep into a tournament. It is possible. He's a little flustered, possibly intimidated playing against a name as big as Jove. And, you know, I mean, he's putting up good games, but as you say, just a few odd decisions creeping in here.
Yeah, it really, really is.
Wow, that Stug getting just more than it bargained for there. That's whoa, the
deflected a shot though.
Wow, that Tiger also taking a little more damage than I would have expected from Jove there.
Oh, Telemine's going down as well from Jove on the right VP, just in case. And I really, really like that. Even at a late stage of the game, you know, once you take all this ground from your opponent, he's still thinking about making sure that they can't push even out of their own territory. I really, really like that about top players, you know, I really, really like that extra little bit of thought, is that it's not enough for them to just sit outside your opponent's base with tanks. They then have to mine the next layer of territories behind that, so that if their opponent does manage to get any kind of a pushback, it's just going to be, you know, disastrous for them.
Yeah.
And here we go, IS-2 might miss it. No, sorry, you can carry on. Thought it was going to get it.
Well, I was just thinking, when Jove is ahead like this, as you say, the line of thought for top players when you're in this position is not how do I win this game, it's how do I stop myself losing this game. And one of the best ways to do that is just make use of all the resources. You're pushed all this way up, why not put mines outside your opponent's base? You know, you're just closing more doors to your opponent, you're reducing their lines of play further and further and further. It's just savvy stuff. And as you say, yeah, it's really nice to see these top players, you know, having this much forethought and this much, I don't know, just ability to close doors for your opponent. Yeah, and TuMe's actually mineswept those as well, so he's doing a pretty good job of keeping on top of things. It's just a shame that some of the units have gone down at the moment. Another bundle grenade on this Maxim doesn't do that much damage, a little bit outside the radius that it needed to be. Tiger's now coming in for some support as well. That takes the Maxim down pretty quickly, but it does stop the decap that connects TuMe to this valuable fuel resource. The double mortar opening, both 3-star, and there's like 45 kills on those two, so they're looking pretty good.
Oh! SU-76 nearly got to wipe them with the barrage. That was impressive.
Yeah, that was close.
Wow, did you see the shot from that SU-76?
Yeah, right through the front armor.
Insane range. And then we got another T-70 as well. I guess that's in recon mode straight away. That's going to be providing sight for what I'm guessing is, well, no, he hasn't got AT guns anymore, but he's going to need it for the SU-76, really. Yeah. It does need a little bit of extra sight for these units to be used effectively, and it also gives him a little bit of an insight as to what's coming, so he can prepare for things and move his units in good time.
Yeah, a couple of Zis guns actually, as you say, would be really nice for TuMe actually. That would actually, with the SU-76, the spotting mode on the T-70, and the IS-2 as the armored bulwark, like that would actually be a really good start to controlling mid. He doesn't have the manpower for it, and it's going to be some time before he does, but that would be really nice. He's down at 106 tickets though, and the 386, so time beginning to draw short here for TuMe.
Oh! The Stug-E just took an amazing long shot!
Yeah. That is a sniper Stug-E, because it picked off the Maxim at similar range earlier.
That was, yeah, I mean, I don't even know how he had sight for that, to be honest. That was a really, really long shot. It may have even been just an overfire, because sometimes if the shot misses, it will overfire. But it must have had tracking for something, you know. It must have had a target acquired to even take the shot. So that was definitely a strange one.
Yeah. But working out nicely for Jove.
Yeah. Jove, of course, is taking the triple cap now, so that's going to be 1 VP per minute on the drain. And a standard anti-infantry minefield is being laid down now as well, so if TuMe does click on that VP and takes his eyes off it, he probably will lose an entire squad.
Yeah, Jove looking really dominant now. The 3 VPs may well be the nail in the coffin, because TuMe only has 80 right now, so he's going to be forced into taking some bad engagements here. Jove just doing everything he can to make sure his opponent cannot get back into this game. The mark of a high-level player for sure, and you know, it is nice to watch. It is nice to watch. Although I do feel for TuMe here, I do feel for him.
Yeah, I mean, Jove's just giving us a lot of great ideas at the moment, you know, a great example of top-level play, and The one thing that I really like about this particular series and with Jove is he's really like, it just provided great moments in loads of different ways, you know what I mean? Whether it's been mines in specific places that we've had loads to talk about, because we have loads to talk about, the positioning of mines in places, for instance, where units naturally clump up together. You know, it shows that someone's assessing points in the map for the way that units move. I mean, it's just the next level. It's just the next level of thinking, basically, when you're in an RTS.
Yeah, and I do think all get set to move on to the semis at this rate.
Although it looks like he may lose the Tiger to this IS-2 push.
Yeah.
There is an AT gun with a stun shot. He has used the stun shot, but I don't think it's going to go off. He's got one chance to make it happen.
There it is.
No, it didn't actually stun. The stun shot had already been, actually, unfortunately, and it missed.
And the IS-2 also missed.
Yeah,
so the Tiger lives.
That is very, very unlucky. TuMe's going to be really unhappy with that.
Yeah, I agree.
He could have afforded another Tiger anyway, but it's the double veterancy that he would really be looking to take.
Yeah, well, if nothing else, he's bought himself a decent Tiger-free window here, so he might be able to get something together. Going for another T-70. Wow, he really likes having one on the field, and I do respect his judgment. I don't know. What do you think of this choice?
I mean, it's doing a good job on the infantry, to be honest. I think it is kind of keeping the infantry at bay. The combination of the IS-2 with the Su-76, capable of dealing with the Tiger, yes, but not with the AT that Jove has on the field right now. And there's no way, you know, if he takes his eyes off that T-70 for a second and the Shreks catch him, it's going to be a nightmare. I mean, look at the Shreks damage on the IS-2 at the moment. They're just comfortably chasing up the field. That's probably the most threatening thing to the IS-2 right now, are these Shreks on the Panzer Grenadiers. But have you noticed, by the way, that the Panzer Grenadiers only have one Shrek on them now, and the rest of them is a 3-man SMG squad, and I don't know whether he's doing that intentionally to benefit from the anti-infantry capabilities now he has the Tiger, or whether he's actually just forgotten that there's only one Panzer Shrek on that squad. So,
yeah, good point.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously... I don't know if that's a real decision or not. But, you know.
I would imagine it's probably an oversight. It seems it to be, but it's not one that's going to cost him, especially, I think, in this game. IS-2 is going to come back in here. Sorry, IL-2 is going to come back in here for another air raid. And that is actually... Jove's going to respect that and just move a lot of his units back. That makes sense. He doesn't want to risk losing anything. All he has to do here is play safely. It's safe plays, time after time after time. And that is what he's doing.
Yeah, he does that very well.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! IL-2 going straight in on those Panzer Grenadiers. It's so beautiful to watch when that plane comes in, honestly. Everything from the sound to the shots to seeing it sweep over afterwards is just absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I mean, where to go from here? I don't know what I think of that. I don't know what I think of that loiter, by the way, the loitering IL-2 right now, because you know, it was just used as a kind of defensive mechanism, but he's not even going to be able to take the mid with that kind of placement of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Destroyed there.
Not a desperation, but just a kind of, meh, I've got the munitions, I'm going to throw it down, you know. I don't think there was anything particularly in mind. I don't think there was a plan there. And we've got a Panther, so that's 2 big cats on the field now. And that really has to be the last nail in the coffin here. Yeah. I think, to me, Jove just playing safe plays and making it work, taking efficient fights, maneuvering himself into a beautiful position. And yeah, to me, a touch unlucky at points in this game as well.
Here we go. We've got a final play coming in. We've got the Tiger and the Panther trying to engage the IS-2 from the front, and you're going to see just how strong this armor is. Tiger on Vet 2, though, probably has a little bit of a more of a chance to get past the IS-2 here, but it's the Panther that's probably going to deliver the most of the penetrating shots, as you should see that penetrate a bit more often. There you go. And the Panther's really the key thing in dealing with the IS-2. I mean, the Tiger head-to-head with the IS-2, I don't really know if it stands up that well, but when you have a Tiger there, Panther there as well, you know, that's the penetrating unit, and that's the one that really is the threat. So Tiger for defense, yeah. Panther for assault, a great combination there. Not much the TuMe's going to be able to do now with the IS-2.
Yeah, TuMe doing a really good job actually here, holding up the victory points as best he can to not die. He's definitely fighting to the last here, to his last breath. Yeah,
and credit to him. I mean, he really did want to win this game, and even at 7 VPs, I'm pretty sure he would take the chance to try and get back in this game. He managed to get a double cap, but...
Yeah. And Jove just being safe, you know? Playing it safe with his armor, repairing them here. Not making any deep dives onto this IS-2, not making any deep dives for the Su-76. Like, he knows the only way he can lose this game is if he gets reckless.
Oh yeah, for sure. Here comes TuMe with the dive. Plays were made.
Yeah, here we go. You've got to go out fighting, man. You can't take this IS-2 to the next game, so you might as well throw it in. And here it comes, getting point blank. Yes, come on. Yes! A dignity kill on the Tiger there. Nice. Love it.
Yep, well, the Tiger does go down, so he can at least take something out of this, which is that he destroyed Jove's Tiger. But there we go. GG, well played to TuMe. But of course, Jove, excellent game, and just solid player the whole way through.
Yeah, Jove's on form at the moment. Number 1 with all 5 races on the ladder. This is a man who knows this game. He probably knows the back of his own hand less well than this game at this point.
Yeah, definitely. To play up against Jove is a huge thing, and actually they for the most part of that, apart from like a couple of moments, they were pressuring each other. Do you know what I mean? It was no easy game for Jove by any means. Although he just plays this safety very, very good. All right, let's have a look at what else is going on in the quarterfinals. Then I'm sure we're eager to hear some results.
Well,